Quilters Newsletter TV, the Quilters community, is brought to you by Husqvarna Viking, keeping the world sewing for over 140 years. Hi, welcome to Quilters Newsletter TV, the Quilters community. I'm Mary Kate Karr-Petras, and I'm here today with Erin Russek, who is the video content coordinator for the quilting titles here in our Golden office. Welcome, Erin.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
And we are here today for the last of our little Year of the Ox 4-part series. And in our previous episodes, we've gone into more detail about how some of these projects were done. But today, we just wanted to run through a few of the other projects that those of us on the staff did, and without going into too much detail about how we did them. So let's start with this great bunting banner that we have here in front of us.
Right, so this one was done by Caitlin Dickey, our editorial assistant, and she reduced the size of all the appliques by 50%, and she made a little banner / bunting with it, and she just added the cutest amount of detail to these things. You can see she did some stitching, she has French knots for eyes, she did over here, you can see she did cross stitches for the eyes, and she just added just tons of cute little detail.
Show the pig too. I love the pig's eyes.
Yeah, the pig looks really adorable, and his snout is all embroidered. So this was a really fun way to use this project to decorate a child's room.
Or any room. I mean, because she used, you know, batiks are maybe thought of as being more sophisticated, and this could be fun for a lot of things.
Right, right. I thought it was a really fun project that she did. So this one was made by the art director Susan Geddes, and she used the bunny again, and she's made this little burp cloth, which is just adorable. It's made with flannel, and it's 2 sides, and I thought that was a really fun way to use the project. So if you only want to do one applique, you don't want to do the whole set, you can just do one, and this is a really cute thing to do.
Yeah.
It's a really great baby shower gift.
Yes.
For people.
Yes, because you can just throw them over your shoulder and...
Yeah, back when babies needed to be burped by me.
Yeah.
So that was a really fun project.
Really
and
cute.
then this project was done by you.
Yes, I did this one, and I used fabrics to coordinate with a bed quilt I'm making for my kindergartner, and I also chose the bunny because it's probably, you know, the cutest motif, but it was a lot of fun. And then my thing is I like to add hand stitching, so I used pearl cotton thread in a coordinating shade with the background fabric just for some extra texture and some extra dimension.
I bet she's just going to love it.
She did. When she saw it, she immediately hugged it, and I said, I have to take it to work. You can't have it on your bed yet, but you will soon. So that was fun.
Super cute.
Yeah.
Super cute.
But speaking of super cute, we have these. I love these.
Yeah, this was my project, and this was a ton of fun. I love Kath's designs, and I was trying to think of fun things to put on placemats, and so I picked the dragon because he was just so charming for a dragon, and the dog. And so I did some applique, and I just added some words, but it was a good time to experiment with a new product that I found that makes turned edge applique really fun, and I have some of that here.
You love turned edge applique. You're known for your hand applique, right?
Right, and this is done by machine, but is actually, you can use this project for hand applique too, or this product. So I wanted to try it out and see how it did, and so I have some things to show about that that'll be really fun. So this product is an applique paper, and on one side it's just looks like interfacing, and on the other side it has fusible on it.
It's a little bit, and you can tell it when you have it up close. It has a little bit of a sheen.
Right, right. And what you can do with this is you can trace your applique shapes, it's kind of like you're doing with fusible, and then you can cut them out and fuse them to the wrong sides of your fabric. So I would just, like when I did this, I just would trace all the parts. You can see right through it, so it works out really well that way. I have mine all done here. Actually, if you could give me back the one sheet so I can use it. I don't want to get glue on our really nice table here. And so here's the dog's snout, and I've traced it, and I cut it out, and I fused it to the wrong side of the fabric that I'm using for the dog's
And
snout.
then you rough cut your seam allowance, your turned edge.
Yep.
Turned edge allowance.
I rough cut it, And then to do this little process, you just take a glue pen to create your turned edge. And so I'm just going to put a line of glue on the paper knot. You can also put it in the seam allowance of the fabric, but I just like to stick it, I like to have as little glue as possible.
Okay.
And so this shape is pretty simple, so you can just pinch it over to the wrong side with your fingers. If you're doing a really delicate or small shape, like I did the nose, you can see the nose.
Yes, that's a sharp point.
Right.
Let's leave that there.
And for something that's delicate, I just use cuticle sticks. And you can just keep working around and getting, sometimes you have to reapply the glue.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need to use your glasses to do that. And you can just keep working around.
Ease in that fullness.
Ease in that fullness.
Yep.
If you get points, that's also a really great place to use your cuticle stick to smooth out any points. And what I think I mentioned before, you can actually, once you get these shapes all done, you can actually use them for hand applique too. So it's a good way to get a turned edge that's really easy to stitch on with both your machine or hand, and with a minimum amount of fuss. I like to turn edges with my iron, and that can be kind of a bit of fuss. So this
I see. So you don't use the iron with the glue?
No, you don't need it. You can just do it while you're watching TV with your family. So, which is kind of nice, actually, especially for these simpler shapes. And I did clip this inside curve here because I want his snout to look snouty. And so and then any little irregularities, you can kind of smooth them out with, and then if you have it pop up, you can just get in there with your glue stick and press it back down.
Great.
So it's really fast.
As you can see, fast, easy.
Fast. And so you can see here that I've already done his head, and now I have his snout, and I would probably clean that up just a bit, but you can do that, and then you put the nose on. And the really fun part about this is that this acts like an interfacing. So when I went to stitch it, I just used that. I stitched it all to the circle, and I've prepared the circle in the same way. It has the applique paper on it. And so it's really great. I can do all my satin stitching and my machine stitching here and then put it on the placemat.
And you don't remove it?
No, and you don't remove it. When you wash, the paper softens up and it kind of adds a little poof to your applique. So it's a really nice effect. And it'll feel a little stiff, but with multiple washings, it softens right up. And then
it never dissolves away completely. It's not that product. It's a different. It's like an in between.
Yes,
product.
Exactly. It's a really nice way to get some really nice applique by machine or by hand,
and with a little bit of added texture. Excellent.
Yeah. So it's really fun to
Excellent. Well, let's take a look at how you finished them. And as I said, I mean, you were known for your exquisite hand applique.
Well, thank you.
But this is maybe not the best use of your hand applique skills and time.
Well, it's a placemat, so I'm assuming people are going to spill food on it, and so I didn't really want to put a lot of hand stitching into something like that, so I thought this was an appropriate use of machine applique for me.
So you used a satin stitch and then a buttonhole stitch, blanket stitch around the edges, and perfect.
You get so addicted to the speed of that too. Just it's really fun.
Yeah, I think for my pillow, I think that the most time-consuming part was just putting in that simple, hand quilting stitch. That was the most time-consuming part. I love it, but it's just time-consuming.
Right.
Speed is very satisfying.
Well, and especially with something that is going to be used by a child that is going to need to be durable over delicate, as we all know.
Yes. Well, this has been so much fun. The creativity around here is just really inspiring. And starting with Kath Wright's quilts, the Year of the Ox, which we do have available on our website as a digital download, with all of the shapes that you would need and the full pattern to make this actual quilt. But then you feel free to take the shapes, adapt them, enlarge them, shrink them down, do whatever you want to make them your own. Use them in a way that works for you and your household and the gifts that you want to give to people. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Quilters Newsletter TV, the Quilters community, is brought to you by Husqvarna Viking, keeping the world sewing for over 140 years.